What's up, everybody? BSports02 here. Hope you had a great day today. And no, this is not Motorsports 360 you're watching. I'm doing something different here. I'm gonna do my a little bit of a reaction, a news thing called thoughts and opinions on every single NASCAR race we have. And I am gonna be honest here. And I'm gonna be honest here. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna try my best to not be biased for most of the race. I mean, for most of the stream. And there'll be less swearing because I know some of you guys here like to watch Kamikaze Games on YouTube. I hate that guy, to be honest, because he is always biased. When Truex does not win a race, he gets mad. And you don't see me saying, when Junior loses, I don't get mad. Alright? So that's what we're gonna do. And if you guys have any thoughts on what our reaction is to, if you have any thoughts of the race as well, you can put them in the chat. I won't be mad if you say something different than me. Just don't make it offensive to me, all right? So, not even a Daytona 500 in and we get a rain delayed race. I mean, we get a classic Sunday afternoon clash like we had back in the day before we went to the nighttime version of what we now call what we then called the Budweiser Shootout. Now the Clash. I like that NASCAR decided to bring the name back. The Advanced Auto Parts Clash. I still wish Busch sponsored that thing. That'd be really nice, but anyway, so going into the race, I noticed on the practice. Hi, Michael. Oh yeah, P.S. Michael's got a new YouTube channel, so go subscribe to him. But anyway, I want to talk about practice. If you notice in the final practice, the JGR drivers would only work together, but if they didn't work, and they would not work with anyone else, just the JGR drivers. And then if you notice during the race, they were the top four for like most of the top four for like most of the race. So, in my opinion, I believe all of the teams are like the big people teams, like such as Roush Fenway or Richard Childress or any of the other big name teams like Hendrick as well. You're gonna post your trip to the race on Sunday? Nice. Um, I believe that these guys need to know how they can go faster. Work with their team in the draft during the practice and the race. Why do I say that? Because Joe Gibbs Racing, he may be a former head coach, but all of his four drivers, they're not four different teams. Those four drivers are all one team. They work together to try and win these races. I mean, you see Team Penske doing that, but you don't really see them drafting by themselves. So Hendrick needs to know to do that because Jimmy Johnson, if he doesn't get into because he's never drafting at all during practice. That's why he got so loose twice coming off turn 4 during the race. One because he wrecked one when he got into Kurt Busch, and the other one when he wrecked himself out. So I believe the Hendrick drivers really need to work on the draft and practice, especially Jimmy Johnson. I know he doesn't want to take a risk of getting in the draft because he does not want to go into a backup car. But I think that helps me out. Maybe most of the time, Jimmy, you could work by yourself, and then for some of the other time, good morning, Insanely Racing, and for some of the other time, I'd say maybe work with your teammates, maybe Chase Elliott, Dale Jr., Alex Bowman, Casey Kane. Work with those guys during practice at all other times of the race. Now I want to give my thoughts on the Kyle. Yeah, his car was set up for the night conditions. Yeah, true. But I don't know when that the same thing happened to him in when we had the Sprint Unlimited in 2014. He got loose coming off turn 4 and he wrecked. Yep, I remember you, Strongest Gamer. All right, going back to what I'm talking about. So, when Kyle Larson got into Martin Truex Jr., Larson had to come in and fix his car. Now we all know that you only have 5 minutes on payroll to repair your car, and so Larson came in. He fixed it. He was getting his, I think it was like his front bumper fixed because he spun out Truex. However, though, NASCAR would not let him continue. Why? Because they had too many men over the wall. NASCAR, are you out of your minds? That's the first bad thing you've done this season. However, though, you made it up yourselves, though. I'll explain that in a little bit. Because, so it turns out you say too many men on the wall, you're done for the day. You go to the garage, you're out. Now, I'm gonna get my now. I want to be honest here. That's kind of dumb. That if you have too many men over the wall, you're done for the day. I'd say if you have too many men over the wall and you make it in less than 5 minutes, I'd say you'd probably just get a stop and go penalty. In the on a in the next green flag stint. If not, then I'd say if not a stop and go, then maybe a pass through, or maybe they hold you for a few seconds. But I think that's a dumb call. If they had too many men over the wall and they were more than 5 minutes, I would understand that they'd take them to the garage because they were done. And now we get to the final laps. Holy cow, Team Penske and Joe Gibbs, they're probably the two best teams right now on the restricted plate actions. Well, I kind of want to give an inclusion of Furniture Row Racing because, they have that Joe Gibbs Racing power, and, they were second, tied for second for the most wins in 2016 with those Toyotas. You think it's a warning for regular season races? I'd say I think NASCAR will improve on that 5-minute rule. If you have too many men over the wall, I'd say just do a stop and go on the next green flag run, to be honest. Then going back to what I was talking about, Team Penske, Keselowski and Logano decided to move up high. They kind of had some help from Kevin Harvick, but they ditched Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon wanted to go up to the high line with 4 laps to go. Nobody would go with him. I felt so bad for Austin Dillon because, I mean, he's a pretty good restricted plate driver, but those Joe Gibbs Racing and Team Penske cars are just so good. And then Keselowski going high, low, and then the final lap, Hamlin leading, Keselowski second. Keselowski had around the bottom. Hamlin was not clear, but I get his aggressiveness. He was trying to block. It didn't work out. Hamlin spun. I do give credit though to Fox for having Dale Jr. up in the booth because he had a pretty good call on that final lap because of I liked what he said. Oh, we got a crash, big crash, big crash. Oh man, this is not good for him. And then finally, NASCAR does a good thing. When we have a crash on the final lap, NASCAR decides, okay, you know what? We're gonna put a caution out, even though it's a clean race back to the line. But anyway, when Hamlin spun, they did not bring out the caution, so thank goodness. Holy cow. And then Logano took the race lead. Man, Keselowski took one for the team, by the way. But Logano just went away, and then Alex Bowman and Kyle Busch were battling for second. I do think, though, to be honest, Kyle Busch is right. I think Bowman and Busch should have drafted with them to try and make it a 3-car battle for the lead. Because if they drafted, Logano would probably have been too far ahead. I think he still would have gotten the win, but it would be a closer gap then. Because if we all do remember, back in that 2015 Xfinity race at Daytona, Keselowski was leading on the final lap, too far ahead. Ryan Reed and Chris Busch are drafted together, and they got 1-2. But however, though, I do want to say I am impressed with Danica Patrick because she finished 4th in that race, and she almost got 2nd. I couldn't believe it. That's awesome. Let me think what else here. I mean, I think this with her getting 4th, I mean, it sucks though because that could have been her best finish ever. However, though, it was an exhibition race. If I don't know, I don't think she didn't make the top 12 in Daytona 500 qualifying. But if she does good in the duels, the 500, and at Atlanta, I could say she could be a dark horse this season. You might need to watch out for Danica. I don't know. This may be her breakout year. That's a bold statement right there, folks, but I could see it happening. And I think, to be honest right now, based on how Clint Boyer did and Stuart Haas, this is going to be a big year for him as well. Based on the Daytona 500 qualifying, I could see him becoming the number one driver for the team, taking over. Harvick was the number one driver. Now it could be Boyer. Really better power on those Roush Yates engines compared to the H. Scott Motorsport Hendrick engines, and they didn't have good cars yet. But Stuart Haas is they're having some help. I'm pretty sure they're having some help from Penske Racing this season, if I'm correct with that. But I am really interested in seeing the Stuart Haas power in the next few races. I want to see how they do on Daytona, but also on like the short tracks as well, like Bristol. I want to see them do a Martinsville and Bristol, then Auto Club, Atlanta, Las Vegas. I'm watching out those races for them. If they do good, and especially Clint Boyer, he could be a threat for the championship this season. I could see that happening. So, oh yeah, P.S. I do want to mention for Daytona 500 qualifying, another one for how does the 24 team do it on super speedway qualifying? Or not just that, the Hendrick team on qualifying. I mean, it's Elliott and Junior on the front row. That makes me happy because, well, obviously I'm being biased because I am a Hendrick fan, like with Chase Elliott and Dale Jr. But I think that Chase Elliott, to be honest, I could see him winning this dual race and maybe even winning a few other races this season. I might even put him on my top 5 for that NASCAR on Fox Daytona 500 thing. But it'll be an interesting thing. It'll be an interesting thing to watch out for this season. Stuart Haas Racing and Hendrick. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the reaction. The next one will be Friday. I'll do a Friday afternoon one at around 3 o'clock Eastern time on my thoughts on the Can-Am duels, and then Saturday morning I'll do one on the truck race. Sunday morning, the Xfinity race, and then Monday night I'll do a reaction on the Cup race. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later.